my speech today is, and first of all, let me ask the question. How many people have ever, in this room, have ever been on a cruise? Wow, just about everybody. Okay. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about a cruise that I went on about 3 weeks ago. My wife and I and our neighbors. And it was just a short cruise. It was maybe 2 to 3 days. My wife came to me a few months back and she said, I want to go on a cruise. And I was like, great. Why don't you go ahead and book it, sweetheart? She goes, I already did. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. Well, it was a fairly inexpensive cruise because I've been on cruises before. And short cruise, we went to Nassau in the Bahamas. And it was, like I figured, we're going to be similar to some of the other cruises that I've went on. So, just to start off, the cruise left out of Miami port. So we had to drive down there. And the whole thing here was to decide whether we wanted to go the night before and stay in a hotel, or get up early in the morning and drive down there. Since we were going with other people, we talked about it and decided, okay, we're going to leave early in the morning and drive down there. Guess what? I got stuck with all the driving. To say, I was not happy with that, but 5 o'clock in the morning, I figured, all right, I can do it. I drive an hour to work every day and an hour home. I think I can handle it, so we drove. And the thing that I really try to, being a IT person that I am, I like to, evaluate the cruise in perspective. The first thing I like to see is how easy it is to board. I don't want to be stuck on long lines. I don't want to have to be wondering where to put my luggage and where to pick it up at and all that other stuff that goes on. So I pretty much, when we got there, we pulled up. There was a guy there waiting for us to take our bags. And I said, oh, great, this is going to be easy. So gave him our bags. He gave us some tickets, told us where to park. And I was like, oh, this is not bad. This is it looks like it's to be smooth sailing. But, so we get on the ship. Well, we go through customs and all that stuff. And it was really not really long waiting on lines or anything like that. And looked at our passports, looked at our stuff, and told us, go ahead on in. So we went on in, and the first thing everybody does, and I did it too, is we look up at the ship and we're like, ooh, whoa, it's huge, beautiful, You're right there in the center of the ship. It's kind of like a big atrium area, and you see all this brass, and you see all this marble and all this stuff, and you're like, wow, this is really going to be nice. So they tell you to go ahead and head to your room. They give you your little keys and everything, and you get to the room, you walk in the room, and you're like, oh, whoa, wow, this is really small. And don't go in the bathroom, because that's even smaller. But anyway, it was well kept. The room was fully stocked with, of course, beverages and other things, and snacks and everything, and we really enjoyed ourselves. So we decided from there we were going to just walk around the ship. Everybody was doing that. But it was good. We walked around the ship. We got to know where everything was, waiting for our bags to come. Now, my wife, for whatever reason, and I don't know why she does this, she packed her jewelry in one of our luggages rather than keeping it with her. First of all, I don't take any jewelry with me on a cruise for that simple reason. I don't want to be a target for people whenever you're going out there. I know that there's crime out there. Whenever you're doing your excursions, I'm sure people come up to you and want to sell you stuff or even take stuff from you. So she was so worried that we had to rush back to our room and wait there for the luggage to arrive to make sure that nothing got taken. The other thing was really nice is this cruise allows you to take a bottle of wine with you on the cruise. And guess what? They took our bottle of wine. Apparently it was sangria, and they didn't know it was wine. And that was really confusing to me because I said to myself, how can they not know sangria is wine? And so when we went to go talk to the attendants there, they were like, don't worry, we'll check it out, we'll bring it to you. My wife did not like that answer. Why can't you give it to me now? You know? Well, there's some confusion, we gotta check with the higher-ups. Okay. So they told us come back in an hour and a half. So we did that. Anyway, just to make that story short, we finally got our bottle of wine. So the other thing that the climax, what I want to say is the climax of the entire time being on the ship was definitely the dance night. And I have to say that they had the village people there. Well, of course, not the real village people. But they came out on stage and all the women just almost rushed the stage. And I said to my neighbor, I said, do they realize it's not the real village people? I mean, it was just like a stampede. I couldn't believe it. All these women were just rushing up. And I was like, okay, well, my neighbor grabbed my wife and they went up there too. So they must have been up there and they must have had like an hour show. It was really nice. I know my wife and my neighbor's wife, they enjoyed themselves. The food was absolutely fantastic. Compared to any of the other ships I've went on, this food, we had roast duck, we had, you can even get lobster tail, and the side dishes were amazing. We realized that we can order more than one main dish if we wanted to, and so it was just amazing. The only bad or down part to this story is that after around 10 o'clock, there really isn't anywhere else to go to eat except one place. And that was the little pizza place up on the 12th level, or a place called Johnny Rockets. And so at night, everybody was kind of like, you know, getting that midnight hunger snack, appetite, and just all went up there to eat. It was nice. It was fun. I enjoyed it. We made a safe trip back. Actually, the ship did not fail us like you would see. And I think some of the reason why the price was so cheap was possibly because of the publicity of the Carnival ship that got stranded. All in all, it was a wonderful cruise. We enjoyed it, and thank you very much.